U.S. President Donald Trump has escalated a public spat with the Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni a day before they are due to meet at a NATO summit. Tensions flared last month when Meloni hit back at his claim that she begged him for a photo. Well, now he's cracking jokes at her expense on social media.
U.S. President Donald Trump has reignited his feud with Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni on the eve of a NATO summit they are both due to attend. Trump posted an image of her gazing up at him on his Truth Social platform with the words "restraining order needed," implying that she's obsessed with him. The image appears to be from their meeting at the G7 in France in June. That's where the bad blood began. Trump claimed that Meloni begged him for a photo. That drew a sharp rebuttal from Meloni.
Donald Trump's declarations are completely fabricated. I am frankly stunned. I don't know why the US president behaves this way towards his own allies. But there's one thing he must remember. Italy and I do not beg.
Meloni used to be known as the Trump Whisperer and was the only European leader to attend his inauguration in 2025. So what went south? Trump appears to have been angered by her refusal to support the U.S. in its war with Iran. They also clashed after Meloni criticized Trump for calling Pope Leo terrible and weak. Meloni's office declined to comment on Trump's latest outburst.
Let's bring in now Nicoletta Pirozzi. She is joining us from Rome, from Italy's Institute for International Affairs. What is going on here between these two leaders?
Well, I think that this new attack by Trump fits completely his logic of denigrating European partners, especially those who dare to react openly to his attacks and positions. Of course, in this case, the controversy is even more visible because we're talking about two leaders which were supposed to be very close allies when it comes to ideological positions, but also in their international stance also on European affairs. But I think, this is nothing new for Trump. Of course, it is an issue for Giorgia Meloni because it means for her a change in her perspective when it comes to the relationship with the United States, but also her position within the European Union.
And now the two leaders will be attending the NATO summit in Ankara tomorrow. So, it could make for some awkward diplomacy. You're quite familiar with Meloni and how she operates politically. How do you think she will deal with it?
Well, I think she has all the interest to keep it at a diplomatic level. So, of course, it will be awkward for them to meet at the NATO summit, but I don't think this will be the main source of tensions, I would say, between Trump and some of the European leaders at the summit. We know that there are many issues coming up, including troop withdrawals from the continent. The Iran war can overshadow the discussions. On a personal level, I think Giorgia Meloni will try to keep it as diplomatically as possible.
How much support does Meloni have in Italy for how she's dealing with the situation?
Well, I think that, at a certain point, this close relationship with Trump was becoming a liability for Giorgia Meloni internally. So first, Trump's attack on the Pope and then the attack directly to Meloni were somehow a political advantage for Meloni herself. 61% of Italians think she's right in this controversy with Trump. So I think in the end, this could become an asset for Meloni also in view of the next elections foreseen for the spring of 2027.
That's a really interesting take. Separate from that, are there concerns, though, that this could lead to a deterioration in diplomatic ties with Washington? And what sort of consequences could that have practically for Italy as a whole?
Well, of course, there are concerns because the US are one of the main partners for Italy, both on a political and military level, but also economically. The US is the second trade partners of Italy outside the European Union for export. So, of course, there is a lot of concern. But I mean, this is something widespread in the European Union among European leaders. Many of them are figuring out how to survive Trump and how to make transatlantic relations and bilateral relations with Washington surviving the current stance of the US president.
Nicoletta Pirozzi in Rome, thank you so much.
Thank you.